pretty sure going back home would help a lot. Being with my family, surrounded by family, would really help it to take away a lot of my stress, because most of my stress is from the fact that I can't go back to them no matter how much I want to, and I don't know when I'll be able to go back.
COVID-19 spread across the globe like a wildfire. Many students in Malaysia, both local and international, were forced to remain on campus, away from their families for an indefinite period of time.
In India, I believe it's around 80k plus. In Kashmir, it's close to 1,000 now.
The death rate is still climbing, but see, once again, you don't know what you can trust, what you can. There's evidence that people who just happen to die of a natural cause or some other disease, the hospital says COVID because they get more money.
The country reports right now are less than 300 cases of the coronavirus. But when you speak to people who are actually on the ground, I have some relatives who are nurses, doctors, they tell you that it's way more than what's being recorded and what's being seen out there.
When this whole pandemic thing started, right, it was just, I was like, oh, okay, it's 2-week lockdown, maybe a month. I'll just stay here, everything will be back to normal.
If I'd known this it would go on for this long, or it would be like that, I would definitely have gone back earlier, even though our university hadn't closed up then.
I don't think I'll be able to return home till January next year, maybe, because of many factors, such as the rise in cases back home, as well as the immigration policies that may change over here that may not let me come back.
I was planning on going home this August, but seeing the current situation, lockdown, no flights, I don't think I'll be able to return anytime soon.
It's very hard being so far away to find a flight that doesn't have a layover that's canceled.
Actually, my house is very near, it's just like 15 minutes away, but the reason why I stay is because I have my responsibilities here, because I conduct a project here to help out the stray cats in our college.
Since we're doing e-learning back in my hometown, in my home, I have difficulty to have a better connection of internet. So I prefer staying in a city to have a better connection of internet.
If I had flown back, it would have been a bit more difficult doing e-learning because of the time difference. That will mean I'll be having most of my lectures at 2 a.m.
Being this far away, our family's concerns for us and our concerns for them remain evident.
People who are with family physically have a better outlook of this whole situation.
I do get to talk to my family back home almost every day. That is, it depends on Kashmir situation. Something happens and then the government shuts down the internet or shuts down phone communication lines, so then I can't contact them.
My fear was for my relative and my friend, for them not to get caught by this pandemic.
You don't know how far this virus is going to go, like how far the spread is going to go, how severe the symptoms are going to become due to the mutations that are occurring in the virus itself.
Given that some of my family are essential workers, they have to go to the office. Some are doctors who do come in contact with such patients. So I'm scared it might affect my family. My grandmother is quite elderly, it might affect her. So it's a scary situation to be so far away from your family where you don't know what's happening back home or what may happen.
International students who are far away from their homes, far away from what they know, who they are, if you will, stuck in a strange area where their first mindset was to just come and get what I need to improve myself and go back, are now having to face the reality of the uncertainty of knowing what will happen. Will we be here for 5 months, 10 months, a year and a half, 5 years?
On March 18th, while classes were still ongoing, the Malaysian government announced the movement control order, which still continues to this day, even though most of the restrictions have already been lifted.
I feel like my liberty as a person was suppressed because I can't see myself moving around freely like I used to be. I can't see myself even meet up with my friends, and I only can see myself be in my room.
It's been nice to joke about, hey, what are you going to do today? Oh, wait. How about what are you going to do? Oh, wait, never mind. You want to? No, we can't do that. But it's stupid jokes like that keep the flow going in life.
Everything from the MCO to the CMCO, they've all been very helpful, and very effective in flattening the curve with the virus. And apart from that, the courtesy of the government to give free meals to us, I think it's all been very, very helpful in making the transition not only easy for like a general citizen, but also for the general population.
The government also gave us Malaysian students the incentive, which is 200 ringgit for them to survive.
So yeah, it was a blessing for that because it saved up money just in case there is an emergency or I have to stay longer.
With the ongoing online classes and heavy workload, university students still need to get accustomed to new ways of learning. Should grades really be their priority?
Before this, you get used to attending classes, meet up with your lecturers and your friends, and shares the information on the spot.
It always felt more routine and more structured. Now it's just a total loss of structure. The place I sleep, the place I eat, the place I sit down and chat with, my workspace is all the same.
It's hard to really concentrate and focus. But I'm trying to keep up with deadlines and group projects because I don't want to be burdened on my group mates.
The learning curve is also being flattened with the virus curve.
I don't think anything is going to be graded evenly this semester because you have one course that's posting online videos every week. You have one course that's giving assignments instead of posting videos every week.
At this point, it's whoever has the best searching skills online.
I feel like just go with GPA system because the pointer is very important, especially for those people who applying for scholarship or applying for internship or want to work in a company in the future. So they need a very good and clear academic background, which in Malaysia nowadays they still depends on the GPA system.
Some students are in a place where they don't have the right learning environment. They don't have data or Wi-Fi, or they might have gone back to like their homes where it's just really not a good learning environment. You have maybe 5 younger siblings who are constantly pestering you, or you could just generally have been directly affected by the whole COVID. You could have family members who are sick or relatives who are sick, and that will have an impact on your learning. And for a university to then come up with a CGPA, it's a bit unfairly graded, I would say. You're gonna get those who are in the perfect learning environment and they get a good CGPA. And you're just gonna get those who are unfortunate to be stuck in a situation that's not good for learning and they're gonna get a bad CGPA.
It would be easier to accommodate that mentality of I just have to grasp this concept where I'm not being graded. How well did I grasp this concept? Did I do it well enough that I get an A? I mean, obviously, we study, we do everything we need to do, but this is an added hardship that nobody really saw.
For some, source of income during the pandemic may not be as stable, with many dropping out all over the world. How far will the burden of tuitions affect their education?
I have friends who have families living in Syria and Iraq and Pakistan and Afghanistan where it's mainly a paper cash dominant society. So they send money through Western Union and other channels.
For one, my home country, banks just can't do anything now. They can't even support, international transactions. It's just a heavy toll on them.
For friends off campus, I know it's been difficult a little bit for them to move and get what they need to. I know back home, a lot of people have lost their jobs. I'm sure that's the same way all around the world, where parents can't really fund their kids in another country, but don't have an option to bring them back.
There is no source of funding. You can't expect someone to pay up when they haven't been able to fund. They really are uncertain of the future, if they do get their job back, or if the job continues paying, or if the company even survives.
Maybe dorm, they can reduce the fee, but not on tuition, because we still have classes. Lecturers still give lectures.
So I think that the university can definitely have some relaxation in fees that would not affect them. At the same time, would also help your student body to handle it.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues to rage on, an invisible fight is emerging for many at home. Many people need support and reassurance during this time. To what extent did the pandemic affect the students and their mental health?
I knew a few of my friends who were struggling with mental health during this MCO. I think they're better now, especially after they are going back to their hometown instead of stuck in the campus.
People who have felt isolated in the past with many people around now really have that isolation,
And some people are okay just going into quarantine, but then there's some people who are more socially active and say the quarantine really did affect them.
But being away from my family definitely has like this emotional impact. Like there's a sort of loneliness associated with just being here. I feel like when you call your family, you don't tend to share a whole lot of the things because obviously there's sort of like a gap in distance, and you don't want to make them feel helpless sometimes.
I do miss them terribly, that I do wish I could come home. I do look forward to that day and won't take that for granted like I have in the past.
The international students are all locked away from home, some of us as far as 5, 6, 10,000 kilometers away. Some places don't have internet. So I do feel like having that sort of active support system, that's kind of absent for the internationals, and a lot of internationals are relying on each other now.
When people know they're struggling, how willing are they to seek help?
I think some people did look for counseling, but it wasn't that readily available, and it wasn't available in, if I could say, the form that would have been suitable. The number of people who might have needed counseling was so great. I'm betting the response was not as active as people that wanted or needed.
As far as I know, some university provide only during the office hour, which is not very convenient for the student if they had to go struggle their stress outside the office hour, right? So
But I would say reach out to whoever you feel is your best support system, maybe your family or friends, or if you don't want to talk to them, do reach out to a counseling service, because it is a confusing time and a very hard time for all of us, so don't feel scared to reach out, and I'm pretty sure you'll find the help you seek.
I can see it as extremely helpful to better understand a new lifestyle, a new change. It's something that isn't meant to make you feel inadequate with a new change, but better learn how to understand this new change.
Despite the obstacles and hardships, students on campus remain resilient, optimistic, and hopeful, and they have managed to make the most out of their circumstances.
I think people who are around people are definitely better off.
I feel like, yeah, as human beings, we are all kind of communal, so I feel like we do need the support of others.
The biggest support that I received was from my families and my friends and myself. Yeah, you have to love yourself.
The biggest source of support would have been scripture. Just going over and through it would have really helped, did help.
God has been a huge help in a sense of realizing that even though this is all out of control, that He is all-knowing and He knows what's going on. It's not out of His control.
I'll say something my dad says every time he calls me, that the tough times don't last, tough people do.
I would say just to get through a not so normal situation, I guess the best way to do that is to also try something that is not normal. So most of us are just trying to go through days the same way we used to go through them when everything was normal. And it's gonna feel odd and awkward and probably stress you out.
I try to see myself doing something new every single day. I start to downloading all these games so I can play with my friend online. So at the same time, I also see myself like get addicted to TikTok. I don't want to be lonely, and how I want to see myself overcome this loneliness feeling is to have more communication with my friends.
playing games, watching movies, or maybe singing. in my room. Yeah.
Making a list of things that I know that I can get done, things that I'm going to shoot to get done, and overall just saying, okay, as long as I get this, and this, and this finished, I'll consider it a good day. That's really helped with the stress load of, what's going to happen next with classes.
There's Thomas Frank, there's Matt Diablo, and there's Improvement Bill. These three are normally what I listen to help me structure my routine or give me a sense of, okay, how to deal with this anxiety at this time.
At the end of the day, we all learn something.
I think in order to learn, you just have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. I think a lot of us are just thinking, oh yeah, free time, we get to be productive, but it's not just free time that makes you productive. It's just free time and just putting yourself in an uncomfortable position.
I learned a lot during this MCO. Basically, I think it was a time for me to think what is the most important thing that I really want to do, I'm passionate about, instead of seeing myself doing something because of the influence of other people.
I've realized that outside of classes and going downtown, that my life consists of Instagram, YouTube, and that's pretty much it. So I've picked up a couple new hobbies along the way, I've always wanted to try making rubber band chains.
Yeah, I never thought that I will survive throughout this very long time period of COVID.
Yeah, it's been a self-reflective time. I have a lot of time to myself. I have a lot of time to think. And yes, I feel there are a few things that I really need to work on.
Some people already before this had hectic lives where they barely had any free time. So yeah, maybe this is a time just to sit back and relax, take a look at your life, see how things have gone and see where things can go. So you're not mandated to learn a new language, learn a new subject or something like that. It could just be used as a time just to settle down, get your thoughts together.
We can't go back to the life that we had. So we need to give each other that grace in saying it's going to be something, and we're all on a learning curve.
I want you guys to know that you guys are not alone. And I want you guys to know that you all are being loved.
Your existence, whether you may be by yourself or not, is still extremely valued. Will it be different? Yes. Will it be hard? Yes. But it won't be as hard as it is now.
If you or somebody you love need support, reach out. Here are some useful resources based in Malaysia.